Richard G. Swinburne is a British philosopher. He is an Emeritus Professor of Philosophy at the University of Oxford. Over the last 50 years, Swinburne has been an influential proponent of philosophical arguments for the existence of God. His philosophical contributions are primarily in the philosophy of religion and philosophy of science. He aroused much discussion with his early work in the philosophy of religion, a trilogy of books consisting of the Coherence of Theism, the existence of God, and faith and reason. Academic career: Swinburne received an open scholarship to study classics at Exeter College, Oxford, but in fact graduated with a first-class BA in philosophy, politics, and economics. Swinburne has held various professorships through his career in academia. From 1972 to 1985 he taught at Keele University. During part of this time, he gave the Gifford Lectures at Aberdeen from 1982 to 1984, resulting in the book The Evolution of the Soul. From 1985 until his retirement in 2002 he was Nolath Professor of the Philosophy of the Christian Religion at the University of Oxford. He has continued to publish regularly since his retirement. Swinburne has been a very active author throughout his career, producing a major book every 2 to 3 years. He has played an important role in recent debate over the mind-body problem, defending a substance dualism that recalls the work of René Descartes in important respects. See The Evolution of the Soul, 1997. His books are primarily very technical works of academic philosophy, but he has written at the popular level as well. Of the non-technical works, his Is There a God? Summarizing for a non-specialist audience many of his arguments for the existence of God and plausibility in the belief of that existence, is probably the most popular, and is available in 22 languages. Christian Apologetics: a member of the Orthodox Church, he is noted as one of the foremost Christian apologists, arguing in his many articles and books that faith in Christianity is rational and coherent in a rigorous philosophical sense. William Hasker writes that his tetralogy on Christian doctrine, together with his earlier trilogy on the philosophy of theism, is one of the most important apologetic projects of recent times. While Swinburne presents many arguments to advance the belief that God exists, he argues that God is a being whose existence is not logically necessary, but metaphysically necessary in a way he defines in his The Christian God. Other subjects on which Swinburne writes include personal identity, and epistemic justification. He has written in defense of Cartesian dualism and libertarian free will. Though he is best known for his vigorous rational defense of Christian intellectual commitments, he also has a theory of the nature of passionate faith which is developed in his book Faith and Reason. According to an interview Swinburne did with FOMA magazine, he converted from Anglicanism to Eastern Orthodoxy around 1996. I don't think I changed my beliefs in any significant way. I always believed in the apostolic succession, that the Church has to have its authority dating back to the Apostles, and the general teaching of the Orthodox Church on the saints and the prayers for the departed and so on. These things I have always believed. Swinburne's philosophical method reflects the influence of Thomas Aquinas. He admits that he draws from Aquinas a systematic approach to philosophical theology. Swinburne, like Aquinas, moves from basic philosophical issues, to more specific Christian beliefs. Swinburne moves in his writing program from the philosophical to the theological, building his case rigorously. Swinburne relies on his previous arguments as he defends particular Christian beliefs. Swinburne has attempted to reassert classical Christian beliefs with an apologetic method that he believes is compatible with contemporary science. That method relies heavily on inductive logic, seeking to show that his Christian beliefs fit best with the evidence. Religious experience Swinburne's categories Swinburne formulated 5 categories into which all religious experiences fall: public ordinary a believer sees God's hand at work, whereas other explanations are cited. Public extraordinary an unusual event that breaches natural law. Private describable using normal language. Private indescribable using normal language, usually a mystical experience. Private non-specific, a general feeling of God working in one's life. Swinburne also coined 2 principles for the assessment of religious experiences, Principle of credulity with the absence of any reason to disbelieve it, one should accept what appears to be true. Principle of testimony with the absence of any reason to disbelieve them, one should accept that eyewitnesses or believers are telling the truth when they testify about religious experiences. Major books: Space and Time, 1968, The Concept of Miracle, 1970, The Coherence of Theism, 1977, The Existence of God, 1979. Faith and Reason, 1981. The Evolution of the Soul, 1986, ISBN 0-19-823698-0. Miracles, 1989, Responsibility and Atonement, 1989, Revelation, 1991, The Christian God, 1994, Is There a God? 1996, ISBN 0-19-823545-3, Simplicity as Evidence of Truth, The Aquinas Lecture, 1997, Providence and the Problem of Evil, 1998, Epistemic Justification, 2001, The Resurrection of God Incarnate, 2003, Was Jesus God? 2008, Free Will and Modern Science, ed. 2011, ISBN 978-0197264898, Mind, Brain, and Free Will, 2013. Spiritual Autobiography, Richard Swinburne, The Vocation of a Natural Theologian, in Philosophers Who Believe, Kelly James Clark, ed., pages 179-202. Critical Assessment, Brown, Colin. Miracles and the Critical Mind. Exeter, Paternoster. Grand Rapids, Edmonds 1984. 180-4. Chartier, Gary. Richard Swinburne. Blackwell Companion to the Theologians. 2 vols. ed. Ian Markham. Oxford, Blackwell 2009. 2, 467-74. Hick, John. The Religious Ambiguity of the Universe and Interpretation of Religion, Human Responses to the Transcendent. This section offers a critique of Swinburne's probability theorem regarding the existence of God. Hick, John. Salvation Through the Blood of Jesus, the Metaphor of God Incarnate. This chapter includes a revised version of an academic article response to and critique of Swinburne's defense of the atonement in his book of that name. Parks, D. Mark. Expecting the Christian Revelation, an analysis and critique of Richard Swinburne's philosophical defense of propositional revelation. Ph.D. dissertation, Southwestern Baptist Theological Seminary 1995. Parsons, Keith M. God and the Burden of Proof, Plantinga, Swinburne, and the Analytic Defense of Theism. Buffalo, Prometheus 1989. Wolterstorff, Nicholas. Divine Discourse, Philosophical Reflections on the Claim that God Speaks. Cambridge, 1,995 Cuban pesos. See also, Theodicy in Contemporary Philosophy of Religion, List of science and religion scholars. References. Sources: Vardy, Peter. The Puzzle of God. Collins Sons and Company, pages 99-106. External links. Personal homepage at Oxford University. Includes a curriculum vitae and more complete list of publications. Presentation at Gifford Lectures, Richard Swinburne, Faith and Reason Review from Diopsometer, the Moscow Center for Consciousness Studies. Video interview with Richard Swinburne, May 31, 2010.